Hello, this is AU Pop, a production of the Aurora University's Communications Department. We're the source for everything in the world of pop culture. I'm Alex.
And I'm Jessica. This episode, we will have a hate it, love it debate on the upcoming releases of the PS4 and Xbox One. And we'll talk to gaming enthusiasts Nick Brown and Pietro Alfano. Following that lively debate, we will explore the world of Belegarth with an in-depth interview with Cody Covganka. We will finish the show with the top 5 movie releases of October. But first, the Pop Roundup.
A heartbreaker in the music industry. The musical group the Jonas Brothers have decided to call it quits. The group was having troubles agreeing on the direction of the group's music. As of Tuesday, October 29th, the band had officially released a statement saying, "It's over for now." On October 9th, the group decided to cancel their tour, 2 days before it was set to open. Not too long after that, they shut down their official Twitter account. The Joe Bros breakup has left many fans in turmoil, but not all music fans are upset.
In other music news, Eminem and Rihanna have decided to team up again on Eminem's new album, The Marshall Mathers LP2. The pair's first track together, Love the Way You Lie, was a huge hit for both artists. And on October 28th, the two released their newest duet hit, Monster. The song has been described as so good it is scary. This song can be heard on Eminem's new album along with other hits such as Berserk and Rap God.
Speaking of Rihanna, Chris Brown is back in the news. He will have to enter rehab after being charged with assault after allegedly punching a man outside of a Washington, D.C. hotel. Brown is still on probation in California for assaulting Rihanna in 2009. Now, we have a regular feature on the AU Pop Show, the Hate It, Love It debate. On each episode, we will have two passionate proponents debate the merits of some issue in pop culture or the media world. I'll throw it over to Jessica, who will moderate this debate.
Thanks, Alex. Today, I'm here with Nick Brown and Pietro Alfano while we will discuss the Xbox One and PS4. Which one are you guys here representing?
Xbox. PS4.
All right, now what do you think makes the Xbox the best of the two consoles?
Well, one of the big things that is coming out with the Xbox is actually the bundle that it comes with. The Xbox One comes with the Kinect, the new Kinect 2, which is nice because a lot of the new features for the Xbox One, it's motion activated, it's voice activated. So, you have a long day at school, long day at work, you come home, you sit down, you say Xbox on, it turns on just like that. You can start watching TV right there, and you can jump from, watching TV, you can say Xbox play, and then you say the game, and it'll jump right to that game. So the bundle is the whole bundle thing is one of the biggest advancements with the Xbox One.
Is the voice activation thing new as well?
The voice activation thing is new. It's it's nice. It's new. It's okay. It's nice because it gives you the opportunity to take all the things in your house. Like it's similar to it's better than Apple TV and Google TV because it takes all of these wireless devices in your house and actually sends them to one receiver. So the Xbox One essentially is clearing up a lot of clutter. It's great because there's so many different things you can do with it, and you don't have to worry about having 10 different things on your shelf. You just have one console that controls everything.
Wow. Well, it sounds like the Xbox is awesome. What makes the PS4 better?
The thing about the PS4 is that it's remaining a gaming console. Though the bundle is a really awesome feature, if you don't know how to use the bundle that it provides, you're just going to be left in the dark and still have a bunch of empty boxes everywhere.
Because people don't know how to talk, right? Xbox on bundle works.
People don't know how to hook everything up. PS4 has a better gaming arsenal. It always has. In my opinion, it's more comfortable controller. And I just think that over the lifetime of the console, it's going to cost you way less than the Xbox One is going to do.
If you are talking about cost, the cost for the Xbox One is $100. It's $100 more than the PS4. But if you want the PS4 to do what the Xbox One does, you have to go out and buy the PlayStation Vue and the PlayStation Eye to make the PS4 console motion sensitive and voice activated.
Which costs how much?
Well, the PlayStation Eye is $60, and the PS4 Vue, I'm assuming is probably the same price. So essentially, it could end up costing you more.
And you get all this stuff with the Xbox
This
bundle?
all comes in the bundle.
But with the PlayStation, you have to
How
pay
much
separate.
is Xbox Live?
How many times has my Xbox Live been hacked? Oh wait, it hasn't. because PlayStation Live actually is an open network, so anybody can go hack it whenever they want. That's just one thing. Throw that out there.
So what do you think is the biggest difference between the two, essentially?
One of them won't break. The other one will.
Okay.
Now, the PS4 is way more powerful than the Xbox One will ever be. It's like the specs, which I don't want to get into all the specs because they're just numbers and letters that won't make a whole lot of sense, but it's just one of the most powerful devices that's ever been made, and the Xbox One doesn't even touch it. And though they both have Blu-ray, which is a huge feature that the PS3 had that the Xbox 360 didn't, the Xbox One's native output is 720p, which is not the highest definition, while the PS4 allows for not only 1080p, but also the potential for 4K resolution, which doesn't even exist yet. So
the Xbox One, the Kinect camera does actually have a 1080p. They just announced that.
I'm talking games.
Well, I mean, also my console isn't on the side of a Taco Bell box. There's always that too.
Wow.
Argue
No,
that.
the PS4 is on the side of a Taco Bell box. So you argued it for me.
So are there any specific games that you guys are looking forward to?
Well, I'm a big fan of anything Treyarch puts out, so I would love to see, how Zombies is going to be on the new system and how you'll be able to interact with it.
Yeah, which will also be on the PS4 too. So
You're kidding me. They make games for both consoles? I would have never seen that one coming.
I'm looking forward to anything that Naughty Dog produces because
Okay.
it's PS4 exclusive.
Now, I have a question for both of you. For the games that just came out, like Grand Theft Auto, people already bought these games. Will they be able to play these games on the new consoles, or do they have to buy a whole new game?
No, neither one of the systems is backward compatible, so
Yeah.
they have to buy new games for every system. But I'm assuming that both systems will have similar to what the PS3 and Xbox had, where you can download older games, just online, like through their marketplace.
So will you'll have to buy the whole new game, or will they give you like a discount or like a trade-in?
It'll be cheaper,
Okay.
but you'll probably have to buy the whole game.
But that's with all systems, even with with all PlayStation, Xbox. None of the systems that have came out have really been backwards compatible. So.
Okay. I know in the past that Xbox as well as PlayStation has released games that were only available for a specific console, like Halo.
Mm-hmm.
Will Xbox or PlayStation continue this?
Yeah, they have to. It's the only way to keep a loyal customer base because honestly, though the Xbox One is $100 more expensive, if they were releasing better games, people are still going to flock to that. But it's the fact that they release console-specific games that are still, honestly, pretty equally liked that it'll always stay that way.
And that also goes along with the loyalty to the system. Like if you've been with that system since this came out and you've been playing those games as they've been advancing, then it just goes along with whichever your preference is.
So speaking of loyalty, have you guys always been loyal to Xbox and PlayStation, or have you played any other sort of consoles that you like?
I actually used to be a big Xbox guy, but then I kind of dabbled in college with the PlayStation and now kind of bat for both teams.
Okay.
But I'm more PlayStation.
How come?
I just think it's better, more efficient, doesn't break. I've had 3 Xboxes break.
Okay.
My
The Red
PlayStation.
Ring.
PlayStation hasn't broken once.
I
about you?
personally never experienced the Red Ring of Death, but yeah, I have. I mean, I've tested the waters with the PlayStation a couple times. I've tried it out. I'm not ashamed to say it, but I think it just shows that being able to try something new, you could still go back and say this is why I like Xbox. This is why I stay with Xbox, and I'm excited for the new bundle. I'm excited for the new features. So.
Okay. Well, that was a fascinating debate. Now we'll go to our studio audience to find out who won this debate. If you guys think Nick won, please applause. How about Pietro? I heard a little bit more cheers for Pietro. I think he might have won that. Sorry, Nick.
Go Xbox.
I'll take it back over to Alex in the studio where we'll go with our next event, the Pop Chat.
Thanks, Jessica. Aurora University offers an abundance of student organizations and clubs throughout the campus. These clubs and organizations range from fashion clubs to game clubs. There is one club, though, that is rarely heard of that occurs on campus, and it is called Belegarth. Today we have Cody Covganka, the warlord who runs the battlegrounds here at AU. How are you doing today, Cody?
Doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right. So what exactly is Belegarth?
On honestly the easiest way to get to what Belegarth is has anyone ever seen the movie Role Models?
I've seen it, yeah.
You've seen Role Models? Remember like how like they do all the foam swords and stuff like that? It's kind of like that. Just take away all the fantasy aspect of it all. Like we're pretending we're actually there. It's not that. It's more we go out. Yeah, do we dress up a little bit? But it's more for the whole sword fighting. It's more based on that sword fighting. It's like how martial arts they dress up. Like a little bit, they'll wear like the traditional outfits, but it's more about the kung fu or it's more about the martial art. That's what it's like. It's actually like a European martial art is basically what it is.
So it's more like actual about what you're doing. And
Yeah.
So is there actually like a way to win other than just like playing on teams, kind of making up? Like, is there a way to actually win the game?
I mean,
you're playing?
the way that you win is you just kill the other team.
Okay.
Is you cut down the other team. Yeah, we do like capture the flag and stuff like that. Where like capture the flag, you do regen, which is basically if you get killed, you walk back to a ref and you like tag them, then you go to your spawn point, and then you spawn and you're back in the game. It's like. It's a regen battle, like continuous until someone captures the flag. And we do like 4 corners where we separate the teams into 4 groups, and they just hack and slash all day. And they're a lot of fun. These events go for like some of them are like 3-day events, and there's Oktoberfest, which is a 5-day event, and people camp out. And it's just like when you see in movies, you see the giant camps with just the bonfires in the middle and all the tents all around. That actually happens, but it's more modern. So it's a lot of fun.
Very cool. So, do you have weapons that you can make? Like, do people make their own weapons, or how does that work?
It's very, most people, when they start out, like, especially myself, you buy weapons at first, and then you'll sit there and be like, oh, well, maybe I can make this. And as long as you make it to the specs on the Belegarth website, I mean, feel free to make your own weapons. Just realize you got to make it to those specs for certain reasons, because they're safety reasons. Like, we do use arrows, and arrows have to have a penny on the tip of them, because otherwise if they don't have the penny, that's how they hurt people. So you have to have a penny on it. The arrowhead has to be so wide that it's wider than an eye socket, so it can't get in your eye socket at all. Like, that's one of the safety features.
Right, you don't want people.
Yeah, you don't want anyone getting hurt. That's the thing, is it's all about safety, but at the same time, still being able to actually fully functionally hit someone as hard as you want, and they're not really getting hurt. I mean, yeah, you can get sort of hurt, but it's not like, oh, I needed to go to the hospital.
So there's never really any storyline that goes to Belegarth or anything like that?
Kind of, not really. Like, I mean, we go to other events. Like, there's other groups that are kind of like us, like Dieckmann here, which is on the East Coast, and they do a Battle for the King, which is kind of like where Role Models got the idea of them fighting for the king. And every year, Belegarth tries to win the king thing because they like to make fun about Dieckmann here.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's just more of a, there's a storyline between realms or like groups that do it, but that's really about it.
So is this kind of, I've heard that there is a debate between what exactly Belegarth is and the term LARPing or LARP.
Oh God, don't even get me started on LARPing.
Okay, so what exactly is LARP? And for somebody, is it like what they do in Role Models,
Yes.
and that's just not anything near what you're doing?
Well,
now?
I mean, it's similar, but it's honestly comes down to what you know about it all. Like, when it comes down to LARP, LARPing is what makes LARPing LARP is that you are role-playing. It's essentially you are becoming a different person. You are no longer yourself when you get there. You're that character that you've made. So there's that, and you dress up, and it's like, yeah, we dress up too, but we're not our characters. We're not like talking in fake English accents and going, hello, chap, how are you? It's like, no, none of that happens. We're just normal people. Yeah, we go by a fighting name, but it's not like I've changed my identity. Yeah, people call me Crom every so often. It's not like I'm a new person. I'm just Crom to them. It's like I went to a party and told everyone that my name was this, but really it's not my actual name. That's all it is. So there's the role play aspect, which is really what sets us apart. And they also use latex because it makes it look more realistic. Mm-hmm. And our weapons are more just foam padding because it's more about being safe and functional than when it comes to looking realistic. We want you to be safe while you're hitting your friends, whereas they're more focusing on the role play aspect than the fighting aspect.
So is that kind of an uphill battle for what you guys are trying to do, kind of trying to separate yourself from that, or is that still something that's not really been an issue for you?
I mean, every one of us has been called a LARPer at some point in time, and it's more of a, you have to just either, you're going to react in two ways. You're going to get mad about it, or you're just going to teach them what it actually is. And if you teach them what it actually is, go you. I support you. If you get mad at people about it, people are just going to do it. And yeah, do I get upset when people call me King Larper? Definitely.
So is that something that happens? People call you that?
Yeah, the lacrosse team has been trying to call me King Larper and trying to coin that nickname. I'm not really happy about it.
Like the entire lacrosse team, or like
a couple of them?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's not really sticking, which I'm very thankful of.
But that's something that you've had to deal with in terms of is trying to separate people from.
Yeah,
that.
It's the only way that you're really going to understand it is if you come out and sword fight, and it's a lot of fun, and it's not really the same thing.
So in terms of the costumes that you have, does everyone have to have a costume, or is it something where people sometimes do, sometimes don't? How does it work?
You can always tell who's new, and they're usually the people who don't. I mean, honestly, a costume, all you have to really do is wear shoes that don't look extremely modern. So like if you have a pair of like work boots or something like that, that's like preferable. You can go bare feet. I usually go bare feet. And you wear like a pair of sweatpants. It's like a pair of loose fitting clothing. So like a sweatshirt, as long as it doesn't have like really modern logos on it, feel free. And honestly, it's the idea is that you're just trying to look period, which is like what they would wear. And it's really not that hard to do that. If you have a loose-fitting t-shirt that doesn't have too many graphics on it or too bright of colors, then you're fine. Like, people won't really care. But people who do like this like often tend to have like really nice tabards, and they're really like well sewn, they're well cut, and they're really nice. And you'll see people like that, and they're awesome. And some people wear leather armor because you can wear leather armor, and some of it's really made really nice. I have greaves myself that I wear, because armor like lets you stay alive longer, so you can take more hits of damage. So it's preferable, but it also weighs you down. So it's really, if you want to look nice and wear armor, by all means, just know that you're slower now.
Cool. Well, thanks very much for the interview. One last question though: how can people join Belegarth? Like, how can they get involved with this?
If you see us fighting, just ask to fight, or ask when we practice. Normally we practice on Sundays or Saturdays around like 6 o'clock, but it's kind of gotten colder and rainy, and I'm the only one who really wants to sword fight in that weather because I just don't really care about the cold. But everyone else is like, it's too cold. I'm like, fine, we won't practice anymore. So when it gets warmer out, though, every weekend we should be out there.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for joining us today, and hope more people get involved if they want to, and I hope people don't think you're LARPing, because that's just not what you're doing. That is Belegarth.
Thank you.
All right. So before we go, we have our final segment here on AU Pop, the Pop Top 5. This is where we chart the top 5 something as decided by our producers and writers. You can feel free to agree or disagree with our picks. On this episode, we have our top 5 movie releases of October. Gravity, a film based on the story of a medical engineer and an astronaut working to survive an accident that leaves them stranded in space. This film starred Sandra Bullock and George Clooney. On opening weekend, the film made $55.8 million.
Also released on the 4th, Runner Runner, a film starring Ben Affleck and Justin Timberlake, is about a poor college student who gets caught up in the antics of a sly, offshore entrepreneur. On opening weekend, the film made approximately $7.7 million.
Captain Phillips is a film starring Tom Hanks and is based on the true story of Captain Richard Phillips and the 2009 hijacking of an American cargo ship by Somali pirates. The film was released on October 11th and made $25.7 million on opening weekend.
Released on October 18th, Carrie made $16.1 million. The film, starring Chloe Grace Moretz, is a remake of the classic horror tale about Carrie Wright, a girl who unleashed her telekinetic powers upon her town after she gets pushed too far.
Bad Grandpa, a comedy starring Johnny Knoxville, is a story about a grandpa going on a road trip with his grandson across the country and the antics they experience throughout the journey. The film was released on October 25th and made approximately $32 million on opening weekend.
That's all the time we have for this episode of AU Pop. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
I like the rock and roll music, and I like to do the cha-cha-cha. I like the rock and roll music, and I like to do the cha-cha-cha. I got the number fever and I like to feel the scenery. I like the rock and roll music and I like to dance the cha-cha-cha. I like the rock and roll music and I like to